All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another WNBA regular season video. In this video, it's that time again. It's almost All-Star time. All-Star voting has begun. I'm a little late to the party. This is the last week you can vote from, I believe, today, when this video is going up, Monday to Friday at 12. I believe that's when the cutoff is, because they're going to tally them all up by Saturday, and we'll know who the All-Stars are, or we'll have a good guess of who the All-Stars are. They have put out the first returns. I have not looked at those. We might look at those after, but I'm going to do my ballot right here, right now. I'm going to get into all the details on how the voting works and where you can vote yourself. So if you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. Hopefully this will be a bit of a shorter video for you guys. I know I've had a bunch of long videos recently, but hopefully this one stays short. So let's get into it. You guys and myself, we can vote on WNBA.com, or you can use the WNBA app. You do need to have a WNBA account to vote. It's just a simple login. You can use, if you have an NBA ID, you can use that to make a WNBA ID as well. So you don't have to have two accounts. It'll be linked together. Let's talk about how the voting is done. This is directly from the website. WNBA players and media will join fans in selecting the WNBA draft All-Star starters, and will be able to complete one ballot each. Fans will account for 50% of the vote, while players and media will account for 25% of the vote. I know I jumbled that up there, but essentially, us fans get 50% of the vote. Players and media will get 25%. I'm not sure. Do players vote in the NBA? I don't think they do. I think it's just coaches and media vote for the some of the All-Stars as well. Interesting. These will all be weighed differently, obviously. And as we get into the format here for this voting, as we get into the format here, you guys do not have it on your screen. You guys are just looking at, obviously, the All-Star logo. The game will be in Chicago this year. In front of me, though, I have a top row and I have a second row. There's, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 front court players I can vote for, and 4 guards I can vote for. Now, just to make this very clear, I'm going to vote for people that deserve it. Some of my personal interest in these players will play a part, as it should, because it's my ballot. But I'm going to try to keep this as non-biased as possible and try to go off who I think deserves it the most. Not my favorite players, not the players I want to see in the game, because that would be a completely different list. But who I think actually deserves it and who has been balling out this season, essentially. I'm going to start at the bottom row here, the guards. And I try not to think about this too much, because I had this video planned for a while. And now that I'm sitting, I was laying in bed last night and I was thinking about making this video. Finally, after days of like brainstorming it and like thinking maybe should I do it closer to the actual end or should I do it now? I'm going to do it now because I, one, just want to get my vote in personally, like I always do, and two, the recent games that have been played over the last couple of days have been really good, and I just want to get my vote in there. So I say all that to say, I wasn't trying to overthink this too much. And as I was going to bed, I was like, so the guards, there would only be 4 guards, right? I was trying not to think about it. I was like, it has to be the 4 young guards, right? It has to be Olivia Miles. It has to be Paige Beckers. It has to be Caitlin Clark. And it has to be Sonia Citron, right? Like, I'm not crazy for thinking that. Because when you scroll down outside of these 2 rows that are in front of me, you have a bunch of players, right? They give you a list of players, a full like spreadsheet of players here, essentially. You have Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Brittany Sykes, Alicia Gray, Brianna Stewart, Ryan Howard, Marina Mabry, Kalia Copper, Paige Beckers, Olivia Miles, Rakia Jackson, who's injured. I don't know why she's still here, but she's here. Sonia Citron, Natasha Howard, Aaliyah Boston, Courtney Williams, Gabby Williams, The list goes on and on and on and on and on. It's basically every player that's not on a developmental player contract. So every full-time standard player or super max or max player. Um, so yeah, I genuinely think the four guards are the ones I mentioned, which would be in no particular order: Olivia Miles, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and Sonia Citron. Now, if we go to the league leaders this year, which I'm going to reference a lot in this video, I'm using Basketball Reference for this. I'm looking at like points per game, total points, total rebounds, rebounds per game, and I'm looking for names that I could have missed. And this league is dominated in most part by forwards. And as I look at some of these numbers here, I look at points per game. Asia Wilson is leading the WNBA in points per game. She's a forward though, and she's averaging 25.7. Kelsey Plum is averaging 23.9. After her, it's Caitlin Clark, 21.1. Now, like I said, I think it's the four young guards that I'm going to vote for. Does that mean I think Kelsey Plum shouldn't make it? No. Does that mean I think Kelsey Mitchell shouldn't make it? I have my own feelings about Kelsey Mitchell, but I feel like Olivia Miles and Sonia Citron, even though they're not averaging the same amount of points, are better than her, and have played better in this first half of the season. You know, Brittany Sykes is also here, but she's injured. I'm not sure if she's gonna be able to play in the All-Star game, if she even wants to. Alicia Gray is here. She's a guard. I could vote for her, maybe the next time around. But I feel when I'm voting for an All-Star, I feel like it's somebody who I like, one, who is elevating their team, at least in some factor, whether it is actually leads to wins, I don't think should be taken into account. The biggest losers in the WNBA can make an All-Star game. It really doesn't matter. And that goes the same for the NBA, where it's like the player on the worst team, like LaMelo Ball, can make an All-Star game. He hasn't in the past, you know? So I don't think that plays too much into a factor. I think just being impactful makes you interesting. There's going to be an impactful player here that sometimes maybe doesn't exactly lead to wins, but is having a breakout season, so I am going to vote for her. And there are other players here that I'm going to have to leave off, like my girl, Aaliyah Boston. Like, when we get down to it, to the forwards, I might have to leave her off. Even though I love Aaliyah Boston as a player, she just hasn't had that impactful start to the season that I would have liked to see. There are players like Brianna Stewart, who may be on the cusp for me. I would have to go down the list, but we'll get to that in a minute. And as I'm going through these numbers and stuff, I'm looking at assists as well. Alyssa Thomas, who's a forward, is leading the league in assists with 8.4. Caitlin Clark right behind her at number 2, 8.1. Chelsea Gray, 7.2. Jordan Canada, 1.7. Jackie Young, 6.8. The list goes on Basketball Reference here, and it makes you wonder, because me personally, because like if I have to put like head to head, like if I wanted to vote for Chelsea Gray or Olivia Miles, who would I vote for? Even though Chelsea Gray is on my favorite team, the Las Vegas Aces, I can recognize that Olivia Miles has been doing so much more this season, and she's looked better doing it, and the team looks great, and both teams, the Aces and the Minnesota Lynx, have comparable records. They're pretty close to each other, so that really doesn't come into effect. It's basically comes down to who I like more, and I want to say I've never liked Chelsea Gray, because that's not true. I feel like Chelsea Gray gets overhyped for her playoff rises, but throughout the regular season, she's just like mediocre, going through the motions. You know, that doesn't take away from her being a great player, but you know, I just think she's okay enough in the regular season. Does that mean she shouldn't be an All-Star ever again? No. If I could vote for like the full roster, Chelsea Gray would definitely be on that team. Now, moving to the person below her, Jordan Canada, would she be an All-Star? Probably not. That's probably when I would put in like Kelsey Plum. Outside of my core four that I keep mentioning, it'd probably be like Kelsey Plum or something. And then like Jackie Young. But yeah, just going through some of these numbers just to like jog my memory a little bit here. Like, you look at the blocks per game as well. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, I'm not saying we don't want to see defense in an All-Star game, but like, I'm not looking at like Camila Cardoso to be an All-Star. I'm not looking at Brittany Griner to be an All-Star. I'm not voting for those ladies. I'm not voting for like Natasha Mack, you know, like these players just, I don't want to say don't deserve to be in an All-Star game, but like also a factor that I like to include is like, who do I want to see actually watch? Who's actually going to play and play like a comparable, really good game? like we have effective field goal percentage here, and Alyssa Smith is leading the league in effective field goal percentage. Am I going to vote her an All Star? No. um, so yeah, I think me yapping through all of this, I am going to go my core four, even though it pains me not to include Chelsea Gray or Jackie Young. Even though you could look at a player like maybe like Kelsey Plum or like Alicia Gray. Um, yeah, I maybe even Courtney Williams. I'm gonna vote for the young girls, the young women. I think my my guards can be very young since there's only four of them, and I think all of them are very entertaining to watch and very impactful and are helping either their career or their team in a certain way. And I think once we get to the forwards, that's when I can start mixing it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna go my four guards here. I'm gonna go. Let's do this in order. Not who I think deserves it, but who has been popping off the page a lot. So my first vote for my guard is gonna be Olivia Miles. My second vote is gonna be for Sonia Citron. My fourth vote for the guards is going to be Paige Beckers. And then, my third vote is Paige Beckers. My fourth vote is going to be Caitlin Clark. Now that we have selected all these players, let me tell you their numbers. Um, Olivia Miles averaging 18 points per game, 5 assists, 5.5 assists, 5 rebounds, really good stuff. Sonia Citron, 17 points a game, 3.5 assists, 4 rebounds. Paige Beckers, 18 points per game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And Caitlin Clark, 21 points, 18 assists, not 18, 8 assists, and 4.3 rebounds. There's some other players here, like I said. Kelsey Mitchell, no. Kelsey Plum's one. If I had to take somebody off, it would either be Clark or Citron, and I would put Plum in. That'd be my thing. If I had to take 2 off, between those two still, and then I'd put Alicia Gray in. Yeah, that's who I would have. I can't believe they still have Marina Mabry listed as a guard. I just feel like she's a wing. She's just not a guard. Some other players here that could get a nod as a guard. Skylar Diggins. Yikes. Arike, maybe. Kayla McBride, maybe. But yeah, that's enough yapping about the guards here. Also, shout out if this comes to fruition, Olivia Miles getting voted in as an All-Star as a rookie would be amazing. Sonia Citron did that last year as well. I believe all these ladies have done it, right? Yeah, all these. If this is the 4, they've all been All-Stars as rookies, and now will continue to be All-Stars. Now moving on to front court players. Let's get to the taller women in a very kind way. Let's get to the big girls, the taller girls. Let me see. So we're gonna filter this into front court, and of course, the only mainstay that I have would be A'ja Wilson, the best player in the league. So we're just gonna put her in immediately. A'ja Wilson voted in. That's my one. Always gonna be an All-Star no matter what. Now we move on to, that's interesting, the rest of the front court. And using the one spot we have for A'ja Wilson, we have a remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Now these can be any front court player, from a center to a power forward to a small forward. I'm just going to go with who I think deserves it. A player who I didn't really think was really that impactful last year, and I thought would be maybe on the way out, but has had a resurgence, returning to a team they know. Natasha Howard. I think Natasha Howard is definitely in consideration for me. Obviously, I think Angel Reese has to be there. She's been fitting in very well with her new team. Also, another player who is on a new team who's been playing very well, who is immediately just like taken that city by storm, Jess Shepard. Doing it all. Doing like a Nikola Jokic impression almost. Looks really good out there. So those 3 are like in consideration. Aaliyah Boston is here, And she is averaging almost the same numbers as Natasha Howard. So I might be able to sneak my girl in there. Maybe, just maybe. Looking at some other players here. Bridget Carlton. Bridget there. Nara Sabali. Now we're getting to some like, I don't know. Satu Sabali. I think I like the top end of this board here. That would be like Howard, Boston, Shepard, Reese, and Stewart. I like that a lot. Do I take my girl Aaliyah Boston out and put Gabby Williams in instead? Ooh. Gabby Williams has been really good. But they just had a stinker the other night, and that's kind of like affecting me right now. But also, just as like a repeat thing, if we're gonna do Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, do we think the Fever have been good enough to merit 2 All-Stars? That's also something you think about. Because none of these other teams have duplicates here. Yeah, the only other duplicate would be Jess Shepard and Paige Beckers, right? Yeah, that'd be the only other duplicate, at least on my list. Oh, and Natasha Howard and Olivia Miles. All right, you know what? Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll circle back, and maybe I'll make a revision here. But as of right now, so we're gonna put in Natasha Howard. We're gonna put in, obviously we have Asia there. We're gonna put in Jess Shepard, who should be a first-time All-Star. We're gonna put in, we're gonna put in Brianna Stewart, and then we're gonna put in Angel Reese, and that leaves 1 spot left. 1 spot. Oh man. So, if you're playing along at home, on my top row, my front court row, I have Natasha Howard joining her teammate Olivia Miles. I have Asia Wilson. I have Jess Shepard joining her teammate Paige Beckers. I have Brianna Stewart. I have Angel Reese. And that leaves 1 spot for either like Aaliyah Boston, Gabby Williams, Kiki Ariafin, Nneka Ogwumike, who had a game winner last night, Dominique Malanga, Bridget Carlton still hanging here, Camila Cardosa, and then we just get into the wild cards like Azare Stevens, Cam Brink, Emily Enghurst, Leonie Fibich, Tawana Bonner, oh boy, Maddie Sigris, who's had like a little aggression this season, Mo Billings, a walk. Yeah, now we're just getting to the single-digit scores. I'm not voting for those ladies. Yeah, this is tough. I wanna put Aaliyah Boston here, but I feel like the Fever just haven't been good enough to warrant having 2 All-Stars. Now, if I go look at the record, am I gonna change my mind? I don't think I am, but we'll go look at the record. Maybe I can make myself feel better if I look at the record. They're 9-7. And the Washington Mystics are right behind them at 8-7. And then the Golden State Valkyries are 10-7 right above them, and then the Dallas Wings are 10-6 right above them. So all these teams are like hanging around each other. Do I award the Valkyries with 1 All-Star, because that's pretty much all they're going to get, I think, or do I award Indiana, who's had a rough start to the season but is like treading water and is like actually above 500? They're 588% above 500. I guess that's how that works. Washington's out of this. I'm not voting Kiki. Sorry, Kiki. To join Sonia Citron, her teammate. Let me pause this and think. All right, I've come to the conclusion. I am going to vote for Aaliyah Boston my next ballot, but I don't think the Fever have been good enough to warrant 2 All-Stars. I don't know. The Dallas Wings aren't that far above them, but I feel like Jess Shepard has had such a breakout season. Like Jess Shepard is having the season I thought Aaliyah Boston would have, really. So in this last spot here, I am gonna vote Gabby Williams. Shout out Gabby Williams, going to a new team, still being impactful. Um, yeah, that's my full front court. So let's go through the front court one more time. Gabby Williams from the Golden State Valkyries, Angel Reese from the Atlanta Dream, Brianna Stewart from the New York Liberty, Jessica Shepard from the Dallas Wings, Asia Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces, my Las Vegas Aces, Natasha Howard from the Minnesota Lynx. Those are all my front court players. And then the guards will be Olivia Maya, Sonia Citron, Paige Beckers, and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark from the Indiana Fever, Paige Beckers from the Dallas Wings, Sonia Citron from the Washington Mystics, and Olivia Miles from the Minnesota Lynx. So the Lynx and the Wings get 2 All-Stars, and the Aces only get 1. New York only gets 1. Atlanta will probably get more than 1, but in my vote, they're only getting 1. Gabby Williams is the lone All-Star for the Valkyries, and Caitlin Clark is the lone All-Star for the Indiana Fever. Also, Sonia Citron, the lone All-Star for the Washington Mystics. So yeah, that's it. That's my vote. Do I feel good about this? I think I do. I think all these ladies are deserving. I think all these players are deserving. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what guards do get voted in. I feel like at a certain point, you kind of have to recognize that Jackie Young isn't having the season we all thought she would have. You're looking at some other players here like Kelsey Mitchell might get in. I don't love that. Obviously, Kelsey Plum is gonna get in. Like, who are we looking for here? Alicia Gray is gonna get in. I did forget Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard is not. Is she a guard? Is she listed as a guard or a forward? I don't know. Ryan Howard's an interesting one. She throws a wrench into some of these plans. If I can go see Ryan Howard, but I'm one of those people that thinks like Ryan Howard just has had like mediocre regular seasons after mediocre regular seasons, and she averages great numbers, but um, they haven't been great overall. And then you think about the percentages that she's averaging this year. Maybe you could sneak her in. Um, you look at, I'm trying to think of other players here, like Courtney Williams could get in. Um, Jerricka Hamby could get in. Jonquil Jones could get in. Um, yeah, there's a lot of shakeup that could happen. I'm not I'm not mad at my list. I'm just like I always feel conflicted because in the NBA I can usually vote very confidently, but in the WNBA like the sample size is so small at the beginning of the season to the All Star weekend that like sometimes I look back on these and I'm like, this wasn't great. But I feel I feel very confident about my guards. Like I think this should be the All Star starters. I genuinely do. Like I said with the parameters that I listed for myself, I think these are I want to say the best guards right now, but some of the most impactful guards right now. And then the forwards is where I'm like, I feel confident about Asia, Howard, Reese. I don't feel particularly confident about the other three: Williams, Stewart, and Shepard. Stewart's in New York. They're going to vote for her, obviously. That's kind of the thing. Whether it's New York media or New York fans are going to vote for her. Players are going to vote for her too, probably. Jessica Shepard has the whole Dallas Wings, Dallas behind her. And then Gabby's in a huge market with the Valkyries, so she'll probably get in at some degree, whether it is a starter or the bench. So yeah, that's it. That's my All Stars for this year in Chicago, 2026. Yeah. I believe voting is worth double on was it June 24th? I believe that's correct. So if you want to get your votes doubled, that is a day the votes will count for twice. And yeah, that's it. That's the video. Thank you for joining me on this. I'll probably do another ballot of just my favorite players, so maybe they hopefully can get in. But this is the one I think of the most deserving and the players that impact or having their best career years or having their best, year with their team, whether it be a new team, current, and old team, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. So that's it. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. The NBA draft is tomorrow, so you guys will get a video about that. Of course, you guys will get a video on Wednesday about the draft on Tuesday, and then we are still working our way towards the Commissioner Cup final in the WNBA. I thought it was this Tuesday. Apparently, it's next Tuesday. Whatever. You guys will get videos. You know how it works. The end screen should be playing right now. Check out the playlist on the right. Check out the video on the left. If you like this one, I'm pretty sure you like that one as well. And if you click my icon, the little one right in the middle of the screen, it's up right now, a little subscribe will pop up, and you can subscribe with ease. Like and comment as well, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.